Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, distinguished contributors. Welcome. It's an honor to have all of you here today for the HL7 WEDI Health Equity Forum and Workshop. I'm Dan Vreeman, and I serve as the Chief Standards Development Officer for HL7 International. I'd like to express my special thanks to WEDI for organizing this event and helping bring us all together. We're gathered here at a nexus of opportunity and imperative. Everywhere we look, we have individuals and organizations who are representing many different perspectives across the ecosystem. And although we come from different places, collectively, we see the complex but important challenges of improving health equity and are motivated to find new solutions. We're seeking not to be stymied by the potential negative influences of social drivers of health or systemic barriers, but rather to better understand and address them so that our solutions can scale. And across the nation, we see lots of positive signs. We see the requisite will, the experience, the collective innovation that's gathered here, all setting the foundation for transformation. And yet, this path that we're walking has too many siloed efforts and redundancies and efficiencies. But when I stand here on this podium, I see a vista of opportunity. So thank you for being here. As a co-organizer of this event with WEDI, HL7 is deeply committed to addressing and improving health disparities. I know that some of you are very familiar with HL7, but I suspect many of you are not. In short, HL7 is a nonprofit standards development organization that focuses on creating data standards that enable interoperability among health IT systems. We create data standards because they serve as a foundation for innovation. What we try to do, our aim is to facilitate and turn consensus among people about how their software should interact into technical specifications that when implemented in new systems become new capabilities, which then enable people and organizations to deliver new kinds of services that ultimately result in better health. So that's the kind of sort of chain reaction that we're trying to catalyze. And it's why that I say our work in developing data standards like FHIR, which if you're not familiar, don't worry, you're gonna hear a lot about it over the next couple of days. This work is actually really about enabling new digital freedoms. So certainly, open data standards can help liberate health data from the tyranny of proprietary data formats and vendor lock-in. That's cool, but there's more. So FHIR itself, as a freely licensed, meaning literally public domain, bona fide global good, represents other kinds of freedoms as well, including the freedom to be able to harness global interoperability wisdom to incorporate into your products and services, as well as your own personal professional development, whether you've been at this sort of for a long time or you're a health tech newcomer. You're also free to be able to implement, inspect, and improve both the specification as well as the open source software components that are built alongside it. And you're free to be able to redistribute those publicly, helping others along the way. And because anyone anywhere is free to use FHIR however they wish, this represents a reduction in the barriers to opportunity. So it's not just about being free of cost, which is nice. It's also the freedom to create, the freedom to build on, and the freedom to change the world as it is now. So as we see FHIR-based solutions spreading, both here in the US and around the world, it's fun to be able to see these freedoms take flight. So for individuals, it could mean the freedom to have and hold their health information on the app of their choice, to be able to share that health information with those that they choose. For clinicians, it can mean the freedom to be able to make good judgments with the comprehensive information at hand that they need, and to be able to coordinate effectively with others throughout the health ecosystem. For government agencies, it can mean the freedom to optimize public health programs that have insights coming from better, faster, and more actionable data. So it's with these same sort of ideals of openness and sharing that we apply in developing data standards that we're gathered here today. The goal of this forum is not just to convene, but also to catalyze transformation in how we work towards health equity. And we're focused on two key ways of reducing the activation energy needed for change. They are for us to learn and connect. learn, and connect. So we've organized our activities over the next 2 days to really create opportunities for us to be able to break down those silos that have hindered our progress, to be able to connect across diverse sources of funding, expertise, and initiatives so that we can formulate well-aligned solutions that harness the collective resources that are available to us. So our agenda is ambitious. Oops, there we go. But it's tuned for the task. So today we've got a great array of sessions that are going to delve into the latest standards and practices that are shaping the future of health equity. We're going to explore the power of community engagement, of data exchange and technology as tools, not just for service delivery, but actually as instruments of systemic change. Tomorrow, we're going to organize ourselves into smaller group discussions and presentations about addressing health inequity in and with the community, including some key initiatives and issues stemming from the new White House playbook for SDOH and health equity. In these work groups, we're going to share not only what works, but also the challenges that we face and hopefully work on solutions together. The focus areas in these discussions, which are maternal health, transitions of care, and chronic disease, were chosen because they represent key priorities that really demand our concerted efforts. So I encourage each of you to engage deeply, to collaborate openly, and to commit wholeheartedly to the work that's before us. Thank you for your commitment, and welcome to an event that I know is going to have a ton of insightful discussions, meaningful connections, and fruitful collaborations. We are deeply grateful to our sponsors who have made this event possible, including Ontada, Blue Cross Blue Shield Association, Socially Determined, Zane Networks, and Smile Digital Health. Thank you so much for your support. Now, for just a couple of quick logistic items. For those of you who are joining us virtually, feel free to use the chat feature to be able to ask questions during the presentations. And yes, slides and recordings of this event and its proceedings will be available afterwards. The agenda, for those who are looking ahead or following along, is available online. And if you're here in the room, there are handouts as well.